Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. Now before we begin, I want to just point out something. I know a lot of you picked up on it on the previous video. My voice does sound different. I'm recovering from a flu, my voice is still a bit iffy, and also I'm trying to use a new microphone and it's just constantly messing up, so it's annoying. Anyway, this aquarium you haven't seen for months, and last time you saw it, it looked like this. Now to be honest with you guys, I didn't really like the setup at all. I think I'd watched too many tutorials and people made it look so easy to do, and I did not like the outcome. One thing I did like though was the shrimp's cove in the corner, you know, that we had the driftwood and the moss was growing really well on it. So I kind of wanted to take that and make that the centerpiece. So what I did is, instead of using this orange rock, I went out and got lava rock. And this is more of a plain brown colour, so I felt like everything else could pop and that just could be part of the hardscaping, because I found the orange to be a little bit horrible after a while. So I did this and I made a massive shrimp's cove, like I like to call it, and I stuck moss to it like on the driftwood. And all this moss is the original moss from the tank. I just took it out and restuck it. I had to actually take all the water out, put it in a bucket with the snails whilst I did all of this, and I stuck on the moss with Aquarium safe super glue. And the other thing was, I put all the original plants back in there. However, because they were so small and they had a lot of hair algae on them, they were getting damaged quite easily, and I ended up just taking them all out, removing a lot of the moss balls because I had too many moss balls, and I actually replaced most of that area with what I believe is broadleaf Amazon sword and a little dwarf hairgrass in the corner. And this is what the tank looks like now. So as you can see, it's really filled out, it's very green. The moss has grown really well. It's had a big issue with hair algae. There's nothing that will seem to eat the hair algae. It seems like you have to manually remove it. And when you do that, you do run the risk of actually removing some of the moss. Thankfully though, the moss has actually grown quite a bit, so even if I remove a tiny bit, it's not too bad. And the other day I did actually decide to trim the moss because I know that can help keep it healthy. And the moss is a mix of both Christmas and Java moss. Talking of hair algae though, it was suggested to me that I really cut down the light exposure in the tank because I was leaving it on far too long, and also cut down putting any fertilizer or anything in there. So that's what I've done. I do still get hair algae, you can see tiny bits on the moss, but it is sort of dying down a bit now. As for the other plants in the tank, the Amazon sword has a lot of holes in it. I think the snails are taking a shine to it, and they're on it a lot, and there appears to be a lot of holes in there. So that's annoying. Thing is, they eat all the algae off of the glass. The glass is spotless, and if they can't find any more food, then they have to aim for the leaves. So I have to make sure I top up the algae wafers I put in there for the snails, otherwise they are just attacking my plants. And I think I'm going to have to cut off some of the leaves just to keep the plant healthy. As for the hair grass, it also got attacked by hair algae, and it's in the corner of the tank, and I don't think it's doing particularly well. Like, it's alive, so that's still good after a few months, but I think it needs a bit of TLC. One thing I did do, because when you have a lot of snails in there, you'll find they poop a lot, and it's usually like luminous green, it gets everywhere. So someone told me to use a sludge remover, and I found one, I popped it in. You're meant to do it every 2 weeks, but I've only used it once quite a few months ago, and it seems to have done the job. I rarely see any snail poop anywhere. And also it's added in a little culture of these tiny, like, translucent worms, and these little dots that sort of swim around, and I believe they're the ones that are breaking everything down. So at this point I don't think I need to add any more in. It seems to be doing well. So we have like some sort of like micro culture going on in there. Now, talking about the water and everything in it, I did actually test the water the other day, and it appears that the ammonia and the nitrite and nitrate and everything are going down, so that's looking good in terms of like cycling the tank. Maybe I can actually soon put in shrimp or fish, although I do believe that my pH level is still pretty high, and I think that's because I use my tap water, which naturally has quite like a high pH level here. So I don't know whether when I'm doing water changes I should actually be adding in maybe bottled water with a lower pH. That might help things out. I'm not sure. If you know an easier way of lowering it, let me know in the comment section below. But hopefully we get everything sorted. I'm aiming for the end of this year to finally have shrimp or fish or something in there. So obviously I'll probably have like cherry shrimp or something along those lines. Like, I know you can get them in different colours. The only problem is if you have a whole load of different coloured ones in one tank, when they breed, their babies would just look like the original type, standard, no colour, so that would be a shame. So I might have to just stick to one colour. And as for fish, because the tank is still fairly small, I would only add in very small fish, probably neon tetras or something like that. I feel like my tank provides a lot of like habitats amongst the plants and the little cave and everything like that, so I think that would be good for them. But as I said, there would only be very tiny fish in there because it is still a fairly small tank. But I hope you like this update and hopefully you like the new setup. I do prefer it this way. It's very green. It does have some hair algae and some holes in the plants, but I do like the overall look a bit more. So anyway, thanks for watching guys. Sorry about my voice and goodbye.